Yesterday, I got hypnotized, and honestly, it turned into one of the most profound downloads I've ever had. I want to share this story with you because I've personally never heard anyone talk about this before. It left a huge imprint on me, shifting how I see reality in a way I've never thought about before. And maybe it's going to help you on your journey too. If you're new here, I'm a hypnotist myself. I live and breathe this world. And my biggest passion is spirituality, understanding reality, and exploring all the woo-woo side of life. Recently, I've been going through a lot of transitions, moving countries, and also someone really close to me has transitioned. So I've been working through a lot of emotions, grief, and everything that comes with it. Hypnosis is something I always go back to, and this time I've been using it even more often to help me find a new way of being. This particular session was short, but let me tell you, really powerful. The downloads were coming so fast, I was almost overwhelmed with all the information that I had to process. Now, hypnosis can take many different forms and styles, but in this session, we focus specifically on breaking down the ego states so I could connect to my higher self and to deeper layers of existence. And that's exactly what happened. And just so you can understand the context, it's important. I personally have aphantasia. That means I'm not actually able to visualize on command. If you tell me to visualize a red door, my mind stays blank. It's all black. That's why these visions are even more profound for me, because I know that's not something I'm making up. I've trained myself over the years through hypnosis and meditation to be able to reach deeper states of consciousness where all these vivid visions just come to me. And I know with certainty they're being received, not produced by my imagination. Also, to be clear, none of what I'm about to share was guided or suggested to me during hypnosis. The mind does its own thing. This just all came through completely on its own from somewhere. So basically, here's what came through. In that hypnotic state, I was in the light and I was feeling all the love and getting all the other information, and then shifted into a point that I became aware of myself and I became aware of me looking at reality, right? So while I was looking at reality, I realized that every time I would blink, there was a potential for the reality to shift. Let me explain. So let's say I will use those cards here to make it easier to bring the point over. But basically, my reality was like a card in front of me, right? So let's say here, this card of Santa Cruz was my whole reality, everything I see in my life at this moment in time. And of course, like every human, I blinked. And then while I blinked, it was like this card went away out of the picture. And, the moment that my eyes was closed and then my eyes reopened in this millisecond, or how long it is, I don't even know how long it takes to blink. But basically, my eyes reopened and then a card came back into the picture simultaneously, right? The moment you open your eyes, a card appears again. And so you witness this reality. And then I caught myself thinking or having this understanding, being like, it's the vibration, isn't it? That's what I said to myself. And whatever wisdom was coming over was saying yes. So basically what was happening was like the understanding that, or at least, you can tell me if you understand it differently, but how I took it was reality is not set and it's not continuous. Reality is something that changes every few seconds, basically. And our way to recreate or reset the reality is blinking, right? So the moment I blink, I almost reset the reality I'm looking at. And normally, it goes away because we blink so many times and comes back and goes away and comes back. And we always witness the same reality, right? But it's not that it's the same one. It's not that it's been the whole time there, but it's we, based on our vibrational state, we don't allow to see a different reality. So the understanding was like, oh, if I was to raise my vibration in the main time I'm blinking, I will then witness a different reality. So when this goes away, when I blink and I have my eyes closed and I reopen my eyes in the second, and I have changed my vibration, a new reality comes through, right? And then if I was to continue changing my vibration, and then again a different reality would appear in front of my eyes. And this also makes sense with so many of other philosophers or thought leaders' teachings that they say about how it's everyone's individual perspective witnessing reality, right? But it's also basically, I hear it all the time that they say, we are projecting. So it's like a projector, and that is all the information that we can receive, right? Based on our vibration, which makes sense. I never heard though someone talk about the blinking part, but it's also how many times I used to hear people say our eyes are attached to our brain, but actually more recently I heard an expert say that no, our eyes are not just attached to our brains, they are a part of our brain. And it's only basically the uncovered part, so we can actually then witness and take the information in, right? And it now all those things make sense to me, and it totally makes sense that every time I blink or close my eyes, then the potential is infinite for all possibilities. But the moment I reopen my eyes, I then collapse it and see this possibility again. And I only take the information in based on the vibration I'm at, right? So if I was to change my vibration, then my reality instantly shifts. And for me, that's a profound perspective shift. Reality isn't fixed or continuous, it's just recreated moment by moment. And every blink is an opportunity. So, yeah, every single moment could lead into a different life in the blink of an eye. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had a realization like this? Or heard anyone talk about blinking in this way? Let me know in the comments. I'd be so curious to read your thoughts. Much love, and I'll see you on the next one.